Hey everybody, it's the Boston Kid. It's Saturday. I just wanted to do a video on the greatest card story that I have. And the greatest card story, uh, ironically, it involves my wife. Um, in my previous video, I had explained that my wife was pretty crucial in getting me back into the hobby and introducing me to Mr. Stan House of Four Sharp Corners. The story I'm about to tell you today is absolutely unbelievable. Um, about 10 years ago, my wife worked with another gentleman, and this gentleman was one of the higher ups at her work, and he was into sports card collecting as a kid, and so was his father. And my wife and this gentleman got talking one day about my love for the cards and my love for the hobby and passion for it. And he had explained to my wife that he had developed this, or collected, I should say, this pretty impressive collection over the years with him and his dad, but they had been out of the hobby for many, many years. And they were wondering if I could come down. They lived in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. If I could come down and see them and, explain to them what I felt the collection was worth, and to give them some sense of what they had. And anyway, I drove down to Pawtucket and met with these two gentlemen. And at first, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was on a table. There was dozens and dozens of binders of cards, vintage cards, from the late 1950s to about, the range was late 1950s to about 1975 is where the collection ended, and mostly baseball. Just amazing. And we spent a couple of hours, several hours actually, just talking about cards and sports, and I got to know both of them very well. It was an incredible afternoon. And they had asked me, like I said a little while ago, what I felt the collection was worth. And to be totally honest, I told them, you have probably tens of thousands of cards, tens of thousands of dollars here. They had tens of thousands of cards, but it was, it was a pretty impressive array of cards, and they asked me what they should do with it, with the collection. And I mentioned that there's a few things you could do. You could send a lot of these cards off and get them graded, or you could go to a local card shop and see what they would give you for it. You could post the cards on eBay. Gave them all their options that would be available to them if they wanted to end up selling their collection. And finally, they asked me if I would be interested in the collection, and I said absolutely, I would be interested. But I'll be very honest with you, I would not be able to financially afford this collection. It would just be something economically that I just could not. I couldn't give them a fair offer, and I wanted them to get the absolute most, for their money, if that was the route they wanted to go down. Anyway, so we spent that afternoon together. A few months goes by, and by this time, it's Christmas time. I come home from work one day, and my wife told me to come to a closet in our home and close my eyes. And she opened up this closet, this double door closet that we had. We have a Cape house, and one of those big closets with the double doors. She opened it up, and there was about 25 banker boxes of albums in that closet. And I didn't know what to say. I said, "What are you holding them for them, or do they want me to go through the cards? Do they?" I wasn't sure what was going on. My wife told me that these two gentlemen decided to gift me this collection. This amazing, amazing collection. A collection that I've never seen a larger collection in my lifetime of these types of cards. And I wanted to show you real quick, not just the cards, but I wanted to explain real quick how long it took me actually to go through these cards. So they were in binders, so what I did was I decided to take them all out of the binders. By the way, I wrote them an enormous thank you note. It was just one of the, I've still to this day, I have no words to thank them for the collection. I ended up getting to know them even better, went to some Red Sox games with them, really got to know these two gentlemen pretty well. And I think the reason they gave me this collection was because they know I'm a custodian of the cards. I'm a curator of the cards, and I'm also a collector of these cards. And they knew that the cards would be safe in my hands. I don't resell cards. I'm not in it for the money. I do it because I love the cards just like everybody in our community does. Anyway, so again, this is a story that very few people know. I'm putting it out there because I just find it to be just an amazing story. So as the story goes along here, I got them all. I got all of these. This took me, folks, this took me years to get these out of these binders because I put them in those Ultra Pro sleeves, the submission sleeves, which, you know, back then, it's like I said, this happened about 10 years ago. It was about $15 to $20 a box, and I needed cases and cases and cases of these sleeves to get them out of these binders and these plastic pages. We all know, that's how they were stored in the 80s. And it ended up costing, my wife, a dirty word in our house is sleeves. Every time I would ask her, I said, I need more sleeves. So financially, it was, like I said, hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to get these sleeves purchased. So it ended up taking me a few years to really go through the cards, not only get them out of there, but organize them, put them in boxes and store them properly. And it was a labor of love, but it was an enormous amount of work. And I just wanted to real quick show you, some of those cards and what I'm talking about. I'll flip the camera around here for a second, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.